Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. My name's Kev and this is my Mortal Realms series, and in this episode we're going to be following the paint and build sections of issue 10. So that's building and painting the Tomb Banshee. So stay tuned to find out more. So before we get started, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a video. I'm going to do plenty more like this, so why not? Also, plenty of links down below for Facebook groups. You've got my social media as well for Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And there's also a link down there to the Chilling Wargamers YouTube, which is always fantastic to check out. So say hello to those guys for me. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're going to start off with building the Tomb Banshee, then we'll go on to the painting guide, and then we're going to have a look at what you lot have done in the community focus. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, so we're in the great outdoors at the moment. It's a lovely evening. Could possibly rain, but yeah, let's risk it anyway. Right, let's get to it. We have our it's not a Nighthaunt Banshee, it's a Tomb Banshee. Oh, almost caught myself out. Comes with an old square base because it was a relatively new sculpt. Say like a couple of years before Warhammer Fantasy Battles ended. They did quite a few new sculpts like this with square bases before it ended, and now they supply them with a round one. Now you can easily just pop that on the round base, and you know, you can put some texture paint on it that will get later, like Astral Granite or something, or Devlin Mud. Not Devlin Mud, Sterling Mud. Devlin Mud was an old shade. It was a brilliant one. Everyone loved it. Tastes like crap though. Stank as well. Anyway, not as bad as chestnut ink for the old ones. Right, so yeah, you can glue it straight on and then put the texture paint around it and it will blend in, and you can like do it up like it's a stone step or something. Or you can cut around the edge and just pop it on flat, and then again put the texture paint around. So since the first one is an easy way, I mean you don't even need this part either, because the bottom of the Banshee is flat and it's light enough that that's enough to hold it on the base. But I'm gonna have some fun with it, so what I'm gonna do is speed up through this, but you guys can watch at your leisure. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make little cuts just along it, bit by bit, like that. It might flex a little, don't worry about that. That's just the plastic readjusting to the fact that it's being pulled apart little by little. Look at that. No need of using a blade. That's just clippers alone, and it's done a good enough job. Now what you do, just to make it a little bit easier for the glue to stick, even though this has got a rough surface, it's just good just to give it a few scratches in different directions, just to increase the surface area for the glue to melt. It's more plastic essentially, so you sort of create like dusty effect. This will create more material for the plastic glue to melt into the bottom of this, and again I'll just do a little scratch on this, and it will make the bond stronger and less likely to warp. And then once you get Sterling Mud, paint around the edge. There you go, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and a crisscross. There we go. Popped on there. As you know, you're going to need your clippers, you're going to need your plastic glue, because this is a proper kit that needs a proper bit of gluing. So follow the instructions, but it is pretty simple. It is just following the numbers, and yeah, let's go. Remember, if you are cutting out delicate bits, look for the more sort of sturdy parts like this and leave them till last, and go for the more delicate parts like this. So if you go to cut here, it'll push the plastic slightly down, and there's a chance you'll bend or break the more fragile areas. So clip out those fragile areas first, like so, and then poof, there you go, perfect. once all the pieces are cut out, then you use your mold line remover. There isn't really that many mold lines to remove on this Mini, because as I said, it was quite a new one. I mean, it's within the last 5 years, and a lot of models that are singular like this have very little mold lines. It's more just the leftover sprue, so you can use that. You can use a blade, you can use your clippers to just trim it down a bit more if you need to, and if you have files, those are great as well to do the job. It's actually just make sure your fingers on there, you support any delicate areas, you just drag along. For the more delicate areas like this one, make sure you trim as much as you can off so that you don't run the risk of snapping it when you stress the plastic trying to smoothen it out. So just carefully trim it with the tip, and if you need to, if you feel like you need to, use a blade. Alright, Spud, it's not exactly fruit punch, but you know, gotta have my beverage of choice tonight. We'll start with gluing the head to the neck. I've scored it slightly just to give it a bit more something to hold on to. Pop her head on the neck. Round one, glue! Round two, glue! Round three, glue! Alright, and then we just pop it on the base. So it's sort of facing in the direction that the skull is. So as you can see, that was a bit fiddly. First time that I've had problems with a fiddly kit, because I've done tons of fiddly kits with really tiny pieces that you can lose in a split second, especially if you've got grey carpet. Some of us older hobbyists have been through that nightmare. But yeah, it's that bloody wig. Cannot get it to fit right. But it is what it is. It looks fine at a distance, so who cares? Anyways, so let's get on to the painting section. So we're going to be painting up the Tomb Banshee and filling in some details for the rest of your collection. So let's see what we do. Alright, so let's get our Tomb Banshee painted up. Let's see. I've already sprayed her with the Corex white spray. Got a good coating on there, but as always, I like to do a quick final layer of the Corex white from the pot, just to get a more consistent covering, and also just to get any areas that are missed by the spray. We will be using more of this for dry brushing later, after we've applied the nihilate oxide, but that is only once this paint is dried and then this paint is dry. We're then gonna colour in some details with Cantar blue on the rest of our Nighthaunt models, and then use the corn red for some details on the Banshee and on the Myrmor Banshees. So let's go ahead. Remember, just start from an area and work your way in. Make sure that you've wet the brush first before you start painting, and just mix a little bit of water in there just to thin it out, because I don't need it too thick. I just need to get a quick cover on it. Alright, now that it's all dry, I'm going to apply nihilate oxide. So I am using the medium shaped brush. You can use any brush really. It's just to quicken it up. I'm going to make sure that you do wet the brushes so it's nice and flexible, and it helps it retain some more of the paint. Make sure you give it a real good shake, because it does separate quite easily. And there you go. There's no point putting it on the palette because you just waste some. Easier to paint straight from the pot. If you need to, put a bit of blue tack underneath, stick it in the spot, just go to town. Some people say thin it out. I say whack it on. Just make sure you spread it out so it doesn't clog up the detail. Just get it everywhere. You gotta paint it real fast as well so that you avoid any tide marks, which are those lines that appear when you start to paint over the areas that have already dried. So just quickly try to apply it once to an area. Only go over that area if it's just to spread it out a bit more. Alright, so we get back to our Corax white. Put a bit on your palette. Get the worst off, just like that. Work it into the bristles on a bit of paper. And I'm using a beat up brush at the moment. Any kind of beat up brush is good, but more volume on it the better, because especially if it's softer as well. You get the raised areas nicely, all those details. Okay, do the knuckle test as I always say, like that, and you get a nice light dusting, like that. Then it should be fine. Okay, so then you just want to go gently over the raised areas and just go against the edges like that. Don't want to go along like that, because then you'll just put streaks into the recesses. You want to get those raised areas. And don't worry if it doesn't seem like much is coming off. That's good. You want to build it up, especially on these character models. You want to just give them a little bit extra love. Just because they're your centerpieces in your army, so they'll stand out a lot more. You just slightly go over that, and when you've done the whole model, you can always go back over if you're not happy with it. Right. If you've got more delicate areas like the fingers, just put your finger behind it. A little bit of paint never hurt anyone. The cloaks as well, do the same thing. Focus more on the ends of the cloak than the actual middle or top. Just get those creases at the top. Do a quick bit on the middle, like so. And if you've got those like edges and rips and stuff, that's where you want to focus the majority of it. Next up is the Cantar Blue. And this we're going to be painting in the details on our Nighthaunt, chicken rasps, and the fawns of the briar green and all that. I'm going to be doing the upper cloth. Alright, next up is Corn Red, and you're going to be using this for your Tomb Banshees and Tomb Banshee. It's going to be for the corset things. Just got to try and be careful not to go too much over. And what's great about this is that because you've done the highlight and shading, it acts as a sort of centerfold highlight, which is when you spray something dark, like a dark grey or black, and then you do a light dusting from a direction or from above with white or grey, and it sort of does that. So it does some of the work of shading and highlighting for you, and gives a uniform sort of direction of light at the same time. Now, because you dry brush the hell out of the whole thing, you're not going to get really that kind of effect, but what it will do is do some of that shading and highlighting for you. So try not to apply it too thickly, and don't worry if some of the white shows through. You just got yourself a highlight for free. And there you have it. So it gets a bit tricky around the edges, but as long as you keep steady, you take your time, it's not an issue. And you know, there's nice few tips in there if you want to cut corners or if you want to do it the proper long way. So it's up to you, but either way, as long as you get paint on it, it's going to look fantastic on the table, better than grey plastic. So without further ado, let's get to the main event and my favourite part of the video, which is the community focus, where we get to see what you lot have done with your Tomb Banshees, and stick to the end because there's some honourable mentions. And what a fantastic collection we had this episode. It was a much bigger show of work there, and so much diversity in what was done, and I really did enjoy it. And I especially enjoyed the couple of classic miniatures that we got there for the older sculpts of the Tomb Banshees, which really took me down to memory lane. So thank you so much for sharing all of your work, and keep up the good work. I can't wait to share more of it. So that's all we got time for. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the building section, because that was just such a pain. And let me know if you found any of the painting parts tricky, because I do like to help out. And if you haven't subscribed already, why not hit that subscribe button? Don't leave me hanging. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.